Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Dro and welcome to my channel. Today I would like to show you a bit how to mock functions when using PyTest to create unit tests of functions that may not be usable the way they should. I will give you an example for that, and the main point I want to show is how to correctly mock the function that can't work in the context of a unit test. So without any further ado, let's start with the code I prepared for you. In the code here, I have prepared a very simple package. We have the first function here is getTable, and it gets a string, and then using the string, it either returns the table users or the table products. Otherwise, if it's neither nor, you get an invalid table name. And this, of course, is just a stupid implementation to mimic something way more complicated where you have a function that gets you data from a remote source, say a database. And this function is probably not going to be testable in the context of unit tests when you have it using PyTest or whatever unit testing framework you use. Yeah, you can make it nicer here, for example, with literals. You can be more specific about the possible values, so your IDE can treat that better, but that's not the point of this video, so let's continue. The next function I prepared is this one. That's the processing function, and this is actually the function we would like to test. And it uses getTable, so we import from our package and the module dbutils, we import the function getTable and we use it, and we process the table and we return the processed result. Table whatever is processed. And that's what actually we want to test. Let's have a quick look into the unit tests I prepared. So the first one here, this is the one which is not really meaningful and probably you're not going to use in real life because, as we just agreed, I hope, getTable is not supposed to communicate with your database when you're running it in a unit test, in an isolated environment. But still, just for the fun of it, using the mark option and the parameterize, we try both with users and products, and we assert that the answer of getTable with a table name either users or products, it returns, well, users or products. And if it's neither nor some other value, then we assert that a value error is raised. And we can run these two tests and they both pass, so we're all done here. Next, we're going to the really interesting piece. The first approach here is again with a parameterization, and I don't do any mocking here. So this is something you could use if in the context of your unit tests you have connection to the database or to the data source, but probably it's not something you want to do because you want an isolated environment when you're running a unit test. So you want to know what's going to be the result, and if you're doing it this way, the underlying function, the getTable, might get you something that you're not sure about, and then your test will fail even though your logic is okay. But nevertheless, this is a unit test that can be used in some cases, and it passes as we expect. So the processed result is table users is processed, for example. Next, this is where we want to mock. We want to make sure that the value getTable returns, the return value, is going to be known, so we can use it, we can trust it. The way to actually do it is to prepare a dummy data set and send it or use it as the return value. And using the mocker fixture that's being installed automatically if you have in your environment, if you have this PyTest mock, then it works. You can mock the function, and this is the wrong way of mocking it. So the way I do it here, and this is maybe the intuitive way, but the wrong one, you mock the function getTable where it's defined. So it's defined in dbutils and you try to mock it, and that won't work. So if we ask to process users and we think that we mock the function getTable with foobar, then that should be the expected result. But that's not the case, and if we run it, we see that we actually get users because the function is not mocked. Then the second option is to try to put invalid value and still mock it, so we still expect to see foobar as the result, as the return value, but this won't work as well, this time because we get a value error with invalid table name. So these two options are wrong, and now we can go to the correct version of mocking, and this done here. And what you need to remember, you mock the function from the place you use it, not the place you define it, the place where you import it. So we import getTable in the function, in the module data process utils. Here we import the function. So this is also where we need to mock it. This is the package name, the module name, and getTable. And now we can mock the return value and ask it to be foobar. And if we run it now with this statement here, so we try to process users, so getTable is now mocked correctly, it will return foobar, and the processing will return table foobar is processed. Same is here, that now as it's mocked, there won't be a value error raised, right? So this can also be tested this way, and this passes. So that's what I wanted to show you. To recap and what you should remember, you should mock the place where the function is imported and not where it's defined. It's easy to mix this, I mean, definitely at the beginning, and I hope with this video it will help you remember how to mock correctly the functions you need to mock in your unit tests. Feel free to leave some comments. How do you do this? What did you like about this? If you liked it, the video, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to the channel. And in any case, I'm Dr. Dro. Thank you for joining me today, and have a nice coding.